Hey everybody, Mr. Sword here. I have no idea how well this is going to work, but I'm going to give it an old shot. Today I want to make a video to show you guys how to use some different color tools that I don't have, that exist on the internet. I want to start out by saying that I am by no means a professional at doing this. In fact, I suspect that at least some of you guys have a better idea of how to do these things than I do. Quick sip of coffee. So if that's you, let me know, and I will take your great ideas and maybe try to pass them off as my own at some point in the future. That said, there are probably a number of different ways to do these things. I suspect that there's probably even one program that's kind of unified all of the different ways to do them. But I don't know what that is. So I'm going to give you what I've kind of hodgepodge together over my time working as a yearbook advisor and just kind of just screwing around on my own. So we're going to be talking today about a couple of different programs and websites. They're all either free or we have access to through Jostin's yearbooks. So my guess is you're probably watching this because you're enrolled in publications writing or you're working with the yearbook. But this also has some application beyond just that. So if you like to do things on Google and you want to play around with color on that, you might get some mileage out of this as well. So the first thing I want to start out by talking about this website called Peloton. Peloton is just simply, it's a website, www.peloton, Peletton.com. You can see it right there. See? And you can, of course, access it anywhere you have the internet. Peloton is a website that does color matching for you. And it's just, first thing I want to do is just show you how to use it. I think there's some stuff on here that I haven't discovered yet, but maybe that's going to be you who's going to discover all of it. I'll show you what I use it for and kind of like what you can do with it. So the first thing is Peloton has this cool color wheel, and it's got these little dots on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You move them around as you see fit. See? Look at that. Isn't that cool? There's a primary one. It's the darkest one. And if you move that, it moves all of the other ones. Over here, it tells you how far apart these things are. So right now, mine is 94 degrees apart. I'm going to set it to my default, which is 30 degrees apart. And that'll correspond to this. So I'm going to pick my primary color. Let's go for a nice, hang on. My primary one. Is that my primary one? Okay, there's my primary one. I'm going to set my primary one to kind of a cool red. And I'm going to keep going until I find whatever I want. What do you think? Looks good? I think it looks good. So that's going to set me up over here. Got a bunch of different color swatches. See? And I think they're actually pretty well matched. I think that would be kind of a cool section or series of layouts if I was going to be doing something yearbook related. You'll notice there are different hues. See, you got some very dark all the way to very light, some closer to grayscale stuff. And if you want to alter any of that, this in the middle will do that. You can see how it kind of bends. You can go very grayscale to very vibrant into kind of, we've got some like pastels, darks. So whatever you want. If you like really bright colors, go to that side. If you like a little more muted or very dark or very light and pastel, it's up to you. I'm going to keep it kind of centered in the middle. Cool. Other things you can do with Peloton. If you don't like 4 colors, you can do 3. And that'll do like a triangle. Again, it defaults to 30 degrees of distribution between them. But it does pair them pretty well. You can do 3 next to each other like that. And they pair. Do it singular if you want. You can do freestyle. You can just move them around. I usually stick with this one, mostly because it gives you the most options. So I think that's what I want to end on Peloton. Next, what I want to talk about is how you can find an image online, and if you like a color on it, you can take that color. So here it is. Okay. All right. So we've got this cool, very cool, in fact, fjord in Norway, and I want to use a color from it. I think I really like the color of that mountain right there. Isn't that pretty? It's got some nice blues. So what I'm going to do, I've got my image, and I'm going to copy image address. I'm going to right click the image, copy image address. And then I'm going to go to this website called Color Picker. So I've got mine bookmarked on my tabs. See it up here, Color Picker Online. The address is imagecolorpicker.com. I would suggest bookmarking it if you think you're going to be doing a decent amount of color stuff, but up to you. So I've got my website address, and I'm going to put it in right down here where it says, use this box to get the HTML color code from a website. So we're going to do that. I'm going to Control Paste. And I'm going to click Take Image. Give it a minute. It's going to take a little while to load. It is free, so we can't criticize it too much for taking a while to load. And I'll just talk to you guys for a little while it does that. All right, here we go. You like the image? I like the image. So you can pick anywhere on there. And over here, it'll tell you, what color you've picked. And if that's the color that you like, you can take that code and do some cool stuff with it. So I said I liked this, and that's the color that I want to use. Doesn't it look lovely? It gives us a couple different options here. There's something called an RGB code and an HTML code. I think we're going to use the HTML one today, but this might be a good opportunity to talk about what RGB means. If you're not in publications writing, you might not care a ton about this. And even if you are in publications writing, you might not care a ton about this. It is important to know the difference, like what RGB versus some of the other stuff means. There are two basic color codes. And what they deal with is primary colors. So if you think about the different inks that go into making a color, or like the different hues, just like when you were a kid, you had your primary colors of red, yellow, and blue. And you mix all those colors to make something new. So your computer works the same way. Your computer projects only three different colors, red and green and blue. And it uses all of those colors in different mixes to show you what you're looking at. And it's true for any digital image. 99% of them are in RGB. They're projecting some amount of red and green and blue. And you'll see here it tells you about how much of each you're getting. So this one has, obviously, a lot of blue, a chunk of green, and almost no red whatsoever. Now, there's a difference. There's something called CMYK. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. I don't know why black is B, but I guess it's there to differentiate from blue. Just about everything prints, so ink, like physical ink, prints using those four colors. So if you're kind of putting two and two together, that means that what you see on a computer isn't necessarily what you're going to see when it prints. So those hues are going to be different. You can't see me right now, but I'm doing kind of like this hands up and down thing. CMYK, yep, prints a little bit darker than RGB. It's a little bit less vibrant, and most of the time, it's not going to upset you too much. Once in a while, you will come across something where you're like, man, I really liked that on the digital product, but it turned out to print kind of funny. That's why it does that. This is more kind of just pedantic knowledge that it's just good knowledge to have, that what you see on your computer is not exactly what you're going to get when it prints. That all said, we're going to take this code right here, okay? And we're going to copy it, and we're going to go put it into Peloton. Again, you could use this. It's more work, but we're going to take it in. Okay, so down here where it says base RGB, that's where our code's going to go. And it takes that color that we liked right up here, and it's matched it for us to some other colors. And I think like this alone, oh, hang on, I'm being told on my computer that you're not recording. Okay, so this is what I did. Right here is where I put it. I'm going to Control Paste, and it's going to show us the color. You can then click on each of these things and get a code right there. Or if you like a different one, you get your code right there. And the next video I've got will show you what to do with those codes. So I hope you found this somewhat informative, and thanks for watching.